Okay, I am going to do a tutorial on how to make a trading journal in a program called Evernote. Now, I also have a video on how to do it in a program called OneNote, which is free with Microsoft Office. I happen to prefer Evernote, but they're both very good, and I suggest you look at both videos and see which program fits your needs or which you're most comfortable with. One advantage of the OneNote is that if you have Microsoft Office, it's free. Okay. So when you have to create an account in Evernote, and then you can create a notebook, and then it actually comes with a pre-made notebook. So let's look at that one, and it gives you some indication of how you can use Evernote. We're going to create our own notebook. So I'm going to add a notebook. I'm going to call it Trading Journal. And then I am going to add a new note. And I'm going to put a table in this. So I'm going to put a 2-column table. And I'm just going to put some notations in there. Now, I also am going to put this note in the notebook. Now, Evernote has something called tags, which are very important, and I'll show you how we're going to use them. And you add tags by going in here. Now, I am going to call this by date. I'm going to name these pages by date, and then I'm also going to add a tag for the date. Now, when I add a tag for the date, it shows up over here. And I'm going to add a tag for the stock name. I am going to add a tag that says it was stock that was traded. And now I am going to drop an image that I created in to the note. So I dragged it from a folder on my computer into Evernote and dropped it. And I created this image in a paint program. Now, look, it's 91%. I'm going to bring it up to 100%. Looks a little better. So I created this image. I create these images of my trades in a paint program, and then I drop them into the journal. So another time, I guess I can go over how I create them in a paint program, but it's kind of straightforward. So I'm going to close this image, and you see now I've got the table, I've got the image, and I've got the tags, and I've got the note named by date. And when I created these tags, they went under the tags category, and they're shown over here. Now, in order to make a new note, I'm going to do the next day. So I'm just going to go duplicate note. I'm going to go to that. I'm just going to change this to 23. Get rid of that note. Oh. And I'm going to add the tag. Press enter. And let's say this was not a stock trade, but it was an option trade. So now you can see on the left I've got category stock, category option, category Netflix, category by 2 dates. So since the 2 dates are different and there's only one page for each date, they show up as one each. Both days were trading Netflix. One day was trading options, one day was trading stocks. Now, let's go and create a new note. Let's name it the 24th. And instead of deleting that tag, I'm going to add it in, press enter, and then I'm going to delete the old tag, and it's a little easier to deal with that way. And let's say this was a stock. And then let's go back to this one and change this to, by the way, you can have whatever you want down here. Let's say no, that isn't actually appropriate, but so you don't have to have this table. I like to have it, but you don't have to have it. Now, let's say, for instance, on the 22nd, this actually was a winning trade. 23rd actually happens to be this, since I duplicated it, the image has not changed, but now once I've duplicated it, cut the image and then drag a different image in. So this would be the image that's appropriate for that day. And let's see, what did I do? That's stock, that's open reversal trade. This one actually looks more like an open reversal trade, so let's go back here and we'll go like that. And if I want, I can do that. And I could add a tag like that. Except that I made a mistake on that, which is fine, and I'll just rename it. And that fixes it. So now under Netflix I have 3 trades because I also created this one. So we've got the 22nd, that's going to show up here. We've got the 23rd, the tag is here, it shows up here. We've got the 24th, the tag is here, it shows up here. And this one also was a duplicate, so I'm going to cut that. Unfortunately, I only have 2 images ready for this tutorial, so I'm going to reuse them. But I think you get the idea here. Now let's say this one also was a win. Now how do we have? We have 2 wins. Let's make a loss. Does this one? This one doesn't have one, so let's call this a loss, even though it wasn't. And now you can see every day I'm getting a tag for the day. I'm tagging it whether it was a win or a loss. I'm tagging it what type of trade it was. And then let's actually go a step further. Let's add a tag in case you want to see how you do on various days of the week. And actually, let's check that. Okay, so those are correct days. And let's see what else we have. Well, let's do a whole week. So we're going to take this note, duplicate it, we're going to cut that. We're going to, let's say this was say it was traded a vertical. Pull in the picture that relates to that. Change this to the 25th. Add a tag. Get rid of the tag we don't need. Get rid of the Wednesday tag, add Thursday. And we'll call that a win. And then we're going to add another tag. Excuse my typos. And let's see, so we've got a week's worth here. We still need a image for that. And let's say this one was, it's not going to match the picture, but say it happened to be that. So this is, we don't need Thursday there. We want to add a tag. And since we called it shorting stock, let's call it a loss. And now just to show you, I'm going to duplicate the note. Call it the 29th. I'm going to add the tag. I'm going to get rid of that tag. I'm going to cut, add a new picture, change this to that would be there. Let's go back here. This one we called shorting stock, so we've got stock here. This one we called stock. This one we called open reversal trade. Let's say it was an option. This one was stock, open reversal trade. So here we have 5 stocks. So let's see, looks like on the option one we also have stock. So let's see here. Stock options, okay. So this one we got to get rid of that, add a tag. And this is what I wanted to show you. Once you've created the tag, it's a lot easier. What happened there? What did I do? Something else clicked on my computer. That got changed. Let me go back. It took focus off of the mouse. So that did not work exactly the way it was supposed to, but let's fix that. And that's one nice thing about this program. If you make mistakes, you can easily fix it. Okay, so we started on the 22nd with a open reversal, stock trade, Monday, win, Netflix, correct date. Everything looks fine there. Let's go to the 22nd. This one, we have option. So let's call this an option trade. And that is tagged option. And it has no stock on it. This one is a stock trade. It's on a Wednesday. It's a win. Might not need that tag. Everything's right on that one. This one is the 25th, so we actually have to change that to the 25th. This one's long stock. We decided we were going to call this a loss, I guess. Let's see what this one is. This one is actually the other one we were going to call a loss. 29th. So this one actually is going to be 29th right here. This one, oh, why? Oh, okay, so we've got 2 there, so we want to take that. So you see when I change it here, it changed it here as well. So this was a duplicate that I didn't complete. You can also shore this up a little bit if you want. Pull this closer, and you can add multiple images in. Now let's do that. So here's another image, As I mentioned, I only have 2 images to work with right here, but you can add as many as you want. And if you want to make an annotation here, you can say and you could also add that as a tag, or you can just use it, you can just put it in here, or you can put it in the image when you create it initially with the Paint program. Okay, so we got a few things here, so let's see what we have. Now every trade was a Netflix trade, but you know what? Let's go to this one. Actually, let's go to this one, the 24th, and let's say this was Tesla. And let's add a tag. And let's take out the Netflix tag. Now we have Tesla in here as an option too. So 5 of these were Netflix and 1 was Tesla. So if we go click on the 5, all the Netflix trades come up. If we click on the Tesla, only 1 comes up, which was a Tesla trade. If we go to the dates, there shouldn't be 2/7/25, so let's see what this is. We've got an extra tag in here that we didn't delete. So each of these should have only 1, unless there's a reason that you're going to put in 2 notes on one day. Friday, there really should probably, let's see, 26 is a Friday, 7/29. This actually should be a Monday, so we're going to take that out. We're going to add a tag, and just have to click that. Now we have 2 Mondays, which makes sense because we started on the 22nd and we went to the 29th. Those are both Mondays, and we've got one of each of the other days. So we have 2 Mondays, 1 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, 1 Thursday, and 1 Friday. By the way, you don't have to put in days of the week. I just kind of like to see what's going on. Certain days are trickier. I tend to think Fridays are a little trickier, and I just like to see what happens. So you can create any tags you want and include them in your notes, and then you can categorize your trades that way and look at them that way. Some people like to have very few tags. Other people like to have a lot of different categories. I think I tend to be on the large amount of categories end of the scale, but that's a subjective judgment. So I think you get the idea with this. There's a lot more you could do to it. By the way, you can use drawing tools in Evernote, but I prefer to do it in a Paint program and drop it in. And you have a lot of different text manipulation that you can do here. I tend to keep it simple and just do it this way. Now, think about it. After a year, you're going to have all the days of the year that you traded. You're going to be able to pull up trades that happen on Mondays, Tuesdays, if that's the way you categorize it. You're going to be able to pull up trades that happen with certain stocks. You're going to be able to pull up your losses and see what happened. You're going to be able to pull up your wins and see what happened with those. And so again, this is the way I tend to do it. I add some other things in and I switch some stuff around, but this is the basic approach that I take. It's completely up to you how you do it, but I just want to give you an idea of how you can organize these notebooks and how effective they can be for being able to look back and see what happened. Now, for instance, open reversal. This might be a trade where you're expecting the stock to gap for a short, well, not gap, but trade one direction or the other and then reverse. You say you see a pattern that it does that a lot. So you might call that an open reversal trade. Every time you do that, you could add a tag to it, and then over the course of a year, you could look back and see how you did on those type of trades. Yeah, so I don't want to make this video too long, but I think you get the idea. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. And so I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.